All right, so today we're going to be looking at something that's pretty important for anybody in film production, and that is building a really great website for your company.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into an article called Essential Features for Successful Film Production Company Websites.
Okay.
It's from Site Design and Now W.
Interesting.
And they are a web design company that's based in Logan, Australia.
Oh, cool.
So, they've got their finger on the pulse of what's going on down there.
Yeah, they would.
And I think it's interesting because they bring kind of a local perspective to this whole thing. They talk about appealing to the Australian market and stuff.
Okay.
We'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But first I want to just talk about some of the foundations that they lay out. And one thing that I found really kind of fascinating about this is they really emphasize that in this digital age, right?
Yeah.
Your website is often like the first impression you make on a potential client.
Totally.
It needs to really capture attention, and it needs to communicate your brand just as powerfully as walking into, like a physical studio would be.
Exactly. It's like your digital storefront.
It is, yeah.
It's the first thing people see.
It is so.
You really need to make a good first impression.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's funny is they start off by talking about the show reel.
Okay.
Which, makes total sense. I mean,
Makes
we're
sense.
talking about film production.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on balancing showcasing diverse work
Right.
versus potentially diluting a company's focus?
Oh, that's such a good question. And it's something that a lot of production companies struggle with.
Yeah.
Because, you want to show that you can do a variety of things.
Right.
But you also don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And the article actually addresses that.
Okay.
It stresses quality over quantity, which is key, I think.
Yeah.
You really want to make sure that every piece in your show reel is top-notch.
Right.
But it's also about strategic selection, I think.
Okay.
So instead of just throwing every type of project you've ever done into one long show reel,
Right.
consider creating a few shorter reels that are targeted at specific client types.
Okay.
So, for example, one reel could highlight your corporate work.
Right.
Another could be all about your narrative experience.
Oh, I like that.
And so on.
That's a really good idea.
That way you can showcase your range while still presenting a clear brand identity.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got a potential client and they've seen your show reel, they're hooked.
Right.
What is the next step?
Yeah, what's
in turning that interest into action?
Well, the article uses this great analogy here.
Okay.
It says, think of your website like a restaurant menu.
Oh, I like that.
You need to lay out your service offerings clearly and enticingly.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not just about listing, pre-production filming, editing.
It's about going deeper.
Okay.
Describe your unique approach to each phase.
Yeah.
Highlight any specialized equipment or techniques that you offer. And, maybe even think about what custom packages might make you stand out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
From the competition.
So it's really like you're giving them a taste
Yeah, exactly.
of what it's like to actually work with you, not just a generic
Totally.
list of services.
Not a laundry list.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you've got your killer show reel.
Right.
You've got clear services. But even with all of that, how do you build that trust factor
Yeah, that's huge.
online?
Especially online, because you don't have that face-to-face interaction.
Right. You're not shaking hands.
Yeah,
You're not looking people in the
Yeah,
eye.
right.
So how do you do that?
Well, that's where client testimonials become absolutely crucial.
Oh, okay.
They're like virtual word-of-mouth referrals.
They are.
They build credibility in a way that your own descriptions just simply can't.
But the article makes a really great point here.
Okay.
Authenticity is key.
Yeah, I've seen those websites where it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Like they're great to work with.
yeah, it's like, this company's the best.
Yeah, like vague praise.
Yeah. That doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence.
No, not at all.
No.
So instead of those generic platitudes,
Right.
focus on showcasing specific results
Okay.
that you achieve for clients. Share quotes that highlight your problem-solving skills,
Yeah.
your creativity, or how you went above and beyond.
I like that.
And then, whenever possible, link those testimonials directly to the project they're referencing.
Oh, that's smart.
So potential clients can actually see the tangible results.
Yeah, so they can actually click through and be like,
Exactly.
oh, wow, they actually did that.
Yeah, they're not just saying it, you can actually see it.
That's really cool.
And it adds a layer of transparency
Yeah.
and verification that really strengthens those testimonials.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed that the article also mentions case studies. How do those fit into this whole, like, puzzle?
Well, while testimonials are kind of like those quick snapshots of satisfaction, case studies are more like the behind-the-scenes documentary.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, they let you tell a more complete story of a project.
Okay.
You highlight the challenges, the creative solutions, and then the ultimate success.
Yeah.
This is where you can really demonstrate your expertise and showcase your unique approach to filmmaking.
Cool. Okay, so we've got the captivating showreel. We've got the clear service. We've built trust with testimonials and case studies. What is the final piece of this puzzle before we get to that local angle that we talked about before?
Well, it might seem obvious, but the article really emphasizes the importance of accessible contact information.
You know what? It's so funny you say that because I was just looking at a website yesterday.
I think it was a plumber.
Okay.
And I kid you not, I could not find a phone number anywhere.
That's a problem.
I went through every page of this website, and finally I found an email address like buried in the footer.
Wow.
It was ridiculous.
That's a missed opportunity.
It was so frustrating.
Time.
And I thought, you know what? I bet this happens a lot.
I'm sure it does.
With film production companies, too.
It's probably even more common in creative industries because people are so focused on, like, the visuals and the artistry that they forget about the practical stuff, like making it easy for people to contact them. So yeah, the article really stresses that you've got to make that information prominent and easy to find. You know, include it in your website, header and footer. Have it on your about page. And even consider a dedicated contact page. With a contact form, your phone number.
Email address and links to your social media profiles.
Just make it so easy.
Exactly.
That they don't even have to think about it.
Exactly. Don't make them hunt you down.
Don't make them work for it. Okay, cool. So that's a good point.
It is.
Now, I want to talk about this local twist that I thought was so interesting. Like I said before, the article really emphasizes catering to the Australian market, particularly in the Logan area. How can film production companies really kind of leverage that local focus?
How can they make that work for them?
To stand out?
Well, I think it's all about demonstrating a deep understanding of the local industry and its nuances. You know, for example, if you're targeting clients in Logan, highlight projects you've completed in the area. Showcase testimonials from Logan-based clients. And even mention any awards or recognition you've received within the local film community.
So it's not just saying, hey, we're located in Logan.
Exactly. It's about showing that you're actually a part of that community.
It's like weaving that local connection into the fabric of the website.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just showcasing your local track record. It's also about demonstrating your knowledge of the Australian film industry's regulations. Best practices and unique characteristics.
So if you're familiar with like specific permits required for filming in Logan, or you're up to date on Australian content regulations, you know, highlight that expertise on your website.
Exactly. It shows potential clients that you're not just a generic production company. You're one that's deeply rooted in the Australian film landscape. And understands the specific needs and expectations of the local market.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about show reels and service offerings, testimonials, and that crucial local touch.
It's a lot to think about.
What else should film production companies keep in mind as they're building their website?
Well, you know, we've talked about all the core elements. But now it's about bringing it all together in a way that truly reflects your brand. You know, think of it as the difference between a house and a home. The structure is important. But it's the personality, the details, the overall feel that make it special.
I like that.
So let's talk about how to infuse your website with that personality. And make it feel like a true extension of your brand.
Let's do that.
We'll delve into that next segment.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Stay tuned.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to pick up right where we left off talking about building a standout website for your film production company.
So we've laid the foundation, right? We've got that strong show reel, clear services, compelling testimonials, that local touch that we were talking about.
But how do we actually like bring it all together? To really like reflect a company's unique brand and creative vision?
Well, this is where design comes in. And I think it's important to remember that design isn't just about aesthetics. It's about creating an online experience that aligns perfectly with your company's identity.
Right.
And the type of work that you do.
Okay, so like, for example, if you're a company that specializes in like gritty, independent documentaries, maybe your website has like a more minimalist, raw aesthetic.
Exactly.
But if you're creating like high energy commercials, maybe you go for something bolder.
Totally. More dynamic.
Yeah. The visual language of your website should speak volumes about your brand.
I like that.
Even before a potential client reads a single word.
Yeah.
And the article really emphasizes the importance of using high quality visuals.
Okay.
You know, think of the stunning imagery from your projects, behind the scenes shots that capture your process.
Yeah.
Even subtle animations that add a touch of dynamism. So it's about creating an immersive experience.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to draw people in with visuals that instantly communicate what you're all about.
Yeah. And don't underestimate the power of like thoughtful typography.
Oh, yeah.
And color palettes.
That's huge.
Are you going for like a classic cinematic feel with like, you know, elegant fonts and a muted palette?
Right.
Or is it something more like modern and edgy with bold typography and vibrant colors?
Exactly. You have to make those choices.
It's interesting how those like seemingly subtle design choices can have like such a huge impact on the overall feel.
Oh, absolutely. They really set the tone.
Yeah. But a beautiful website is nothing if people can't figure out how to use it.
Totally.
Right.
You're right. Navigation is key.
Okay.
And it's something that I think often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
You know, your website should be intuitive and easy to navigate, even for someone who's not particularly tech savvy.
Right.
Think clear menus.
Okay.
Logical page hierarchy.
Right.
User-friendly layout.
So no one gets lost.
Exactly.
In a maze of links.
Nobody wants to be clicking around for 5 minutes trying to find the contact page.
Yeah, for sure. And also in today's world, it's got to be mobile friendly.
Oh, absolutely. Responsive design is crucial.
Okay.
Your website needs to look just as good and function just as smoothly on a smartphone as it does on a desktop computer.
I've definitely run into some websites that weren't mobile friendly.
We've all been there.
And it's like immediately you just like bounce.
Yeah, you're out of there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be pinching and zooming.
Trying to read tiny texts.
Yeah. Or trying to navigate a menu that's like 5 miles long.
Exactly.
It's a nightmare.
Okay, so we've talked about visuals.
Right.
Navigation. But let's not forget the power of words.
Oh, yeah. Words are important.
Website copywriting is so crucial for communicating your brand story.
Totally.
Showcasing your expertise. Engaging potential clients.
Yeah, it's not just about like throwing up some generic about us text.
Right, or just like listing your services.
Exactly.
The article talks about like tailoring your language to your target audience.
It's all about knowing who you're talking to.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's essential.
Okay.
Think about who you're trying to reach and craft your copy accordingly. So, you know, if you're targeting like high-end brands, your language might be more sophisticated and polished. But if you're working with independent filmmakers, maybe a more casual conversational tone is appropriate.
Yeah, so it's like choosing the right script for the right film.
Exactly.
Right.
You have to make sure your language resonates with your audience.
All right.
And makes them feel like you understand their needs.
And don't be afraid to inject some personality into it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
You know, share your company's story. Highlight your values.
Yeah.
And let your passion for filmmaking shine through.
So you're not just selling services.
Right.
You're selling an experience.
Exactly. You're selling a collaboration.
Right.
A shared creative vision.
Yeah, it's about connecting with potential clients on a human level.
Totally.
And making them feel like they're not just hiring a company, but they're partnering.
You're building a relationship.
Yeah, with a team of passionate, creative people.
Exactly. That's the goal.
Now, while we're on the topic of engaging potential clients, let's talk about something that I think is often overlooked.
Okay.
Those are calls to action.
Oh, yeah. Calls to action. Those are important.
So for people who don't know,
yeah,
these are like the prompts that encourage people to take a specific step. Like contact us for a quote.
Yeah.
Download our portfolio.
Exactly. Those are crucial for guiding people through your website and converting those visitors into leads and ultimately clients.
So think about the actions that you want people to take on each page and make those calls to action.
Yeah.
Clear, concise, visually prominent.
Don't bury them at the bottom of the page in tiny text.
Right. So instead of like burying your contact information at the bottom of the page, maybe you have like a bold button that says like, let's talk.
Exactly.
Right next to your show reel.
Make it super easy for people to reach out.
Yeah. Just make it as easy as possible for them to take that next step.
Totally.
Okay. So we've got a beautiful design. We've got intuitive navigation, engaging copy, clear calls to action.
Right.
What else do film production companies need to keep in mind as they're building their online presence?
Well, we're living in this digital age.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about websites without talking about SEO.
SEO?
Search engine optimization.
Okay.
It's how you make sure your website actually shows up.
Right.
When potential clients are searching for companies like yours.
Yeah, I've heard about SEO, but it always seemed kind of like mysterious and technical.
It can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be.
Can you break it down for us?
Sure. So basically, SEO is all about making your website as visible as possible to search engines like Google.
Okay.
It's a complex field.
Yeah.
But there's some basic things you can do.
Okay. To improve your ranking.
So what are some of those basic SEO strategies that film production companies should focus on?
Well, one of the most important is keyword research.
Okay.
Think about the terms that potential clients might use to search for film production services in your area.
Right. So things like film production Logan.
Yeah.
Or corporate video production Brisbane.
Exactly.
Once you've identified those keywords, you want to incorporate them naturally into your website. Copy your page titles, image tags.
So it's not just about like stuffing your website full of keywords.
Right, exactly. It's about using them strategically.
Okay.
And making sure your content is relevant and valuable to the people who are searching for those terms.
Gotcha. And what about backlinks?
Backlinks are huge.
Okay, so backlinks, those are links from other websites to your website.
That's correct.
Okay.
And when reputable websites link to your site, it signals to search engines that your content is trustworthy and valuable.
Okay.
Which can boost your ranking.
So how do you get those backlinks?
Well, sometimes it can be as simple as reaching out to other websites and asking them to link to you.
Okay.
But it's often more effective to create content that other websites will naturally want to link to.
Right. So like valuable content.
Exactly. Think blog posts, articles, videos, infographics that provide valuable insights or information for your target audience.
So it's about becoming a thought leader.
Yeah, exactly.
In your industry.
Right.
And creating content that's so good, other websites can't help but share it.
That's the goal.
It's a long-term strategy.
It is.
But it's one of the most effective ways to build a strong online presence.
Absolutely.
Attract organic traffic to your website.
That's the key.
This is all really helpful information.
Glad to hear it.
It's amazing how much goes into creating like a truly effective website.
It's a lot more than people think.
And we're not even done yet.
Nope. We've got a few more crucial elements to cover.
Okay.
We'll be right back to explore those.
And we are back for the final part of our deep dive on film production company websites.
Yeah, it's been a lot of information.
It has been, but it's really good stuff.
Definitely. And I think it's important,
Yeah.
Because a well-crafted website can really be your most powerful marketing tool.
It can be.
Attracting clients, showcasing your talent, establishing you as a leader in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we wrap up, I want to just circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
And that's the importance of that local touch.
Right.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the local level.
Yeah, because it might seem counterintuitive in today's globalized world, but, highlighting your connection to a specific location can actually be a huge advantage.
I think it can, especially in a collaborative industry like filmmaking.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this. If I'm a business owner in Logan and I'm looking for a film production company, wouldn't I be more likely to choose one that understands the local landscape?
Absolutely. Someone who knows the area, knows the people.
Has worked there before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want someone who can hit the ground running.
Yeah. So how can film production companies effectively showcase this local connection on their websites?
Well, there are a few key strategies, I think.
Okay.
First, you want to highlight your experience working in the area.
Okay.
So showcase projects you've completed in Logan. Feature testimonials from local clients.
Right.
Mention any awards or recognition you've received within the local film community.
It's like building a portfolio that speaks directly to that market.
Exactly. You want to show that you're invested in the local community.
Then if you have like a blog
or a
news section.
That's a great way to do it.
On your website, Use it to share insights about the local film scene.
Talk about upcoming events.
Right.
Highlight local talent.
Yeah.
Discuss industry trends specific to the area.
So it's about positioning yourself as like an active participant.
Exactly.
In that ecosystem.
You're not just a visitor. You're a part of it.
Yeah. And don't forget visuals.
Oh, right. Visuals are key.
Use photography and videography. That captures the beauty and the unique character of Logan.
Show off the locations, the people, the energy of the place.
Yeah. Let potential clients feel like they're getting a glimpse of what it's like to actually work with you.
To be there.
In this community.
Exactly. Experience it through your website.
So it's about creating that sense of place, letting that local flavor shine through.
And remember that local touch isn't limited to just geography.
Okay.
It's also about understanding the cultural nuances.
Okay.
The talent pool, the overall vibe of the area.
Yeah, it's about having your finger on the pulse.
Exactly. And that's where local expertise really shines.
Okay, so to wrap things up, a successful film production company website needs to be visually stunning, easy to navigate, packed with compelling content.
You gotta have it all.
But it also needs to have heart.
Yeah, I love that.
It
needs to feel real.
It needs to tell a story.
Authentic.
Show your passion for filmmaking, your commitment to quality, and your connection to the community you serve.
It's about building trust and relationships.
Yeah. And remember, your website is your digital stage.
It is.
Make it shine.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into film production company websites.
It's been a journey.
We hope you found this episode insightful.
And inspiring.
And remember, your website is a powerful tool.
It is.
For attracting clients, showcasing your work.
Absolutely.
Building your brand.
Use these tips.
Yeah.
To create a website that truly represents you.
That represents the essence of your film production company.
And don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with it.
Yeah. Have fun.
Filmmaking is all about creativity and innovation.
It is.
Let that spirit shine through on your website.
And you'll be sure to capture the attention of potential clients.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.